Hello. Thank you so much for having me again this year. Robbie, you're my hero. I love you so much. And I'm so grateful to be here. So I started a company 10 years ago called Hoop It Up Kids. I used to travel teaching adults, and I decided to put all of my energy. I noticed there was an obesity crisis in our country. So 10 years later, I've worked with over 2 million kids, and I do it with the hula hoop. How many of you remember hooping when you were a kid? How many of you want to up the fun factor in your life? Okay, how many of you, be honest, how many of you exercise a couple times a week, 3 days a week? Look at all the hands up. This is great. Because I tell this to the kids. Our human bodies are made, okay, I'll put it to you this way. The first thing we do when we're born on this planet is we take a deep breath. We slap our butt and we take a deep breath. The last thing we do when we leave this earth is what do? We take our last breath. But while we're here on this earth, however much you're willing to breathe this oxygen into your body is going to equal what level you thrive in your life. So I tell this to the kids. I use a ball. I have a ball with no air in it. And I say this to the kids. I drop it on the ground. I say, this is a ball with no air. And I drop it, and it's like it's in a bad mood, right? That's what the kids are all like, what? And a flat tire on a bicycle. You can't make that bike go. So I say, kids, what do you do to this ball to make it at its best? Where this ball is bouncing. What do you do, guys, ladies and gentlemen? What do you do? Come here. You pump it up, right? So every day, our human bodies need to be pumped up with oxygen. And we got to do this every day. And if we don't, we're going to be underneath in this vibration. So things are going to bother us. We're going to be affected by things. So there's a lot of ways that you can move your bodies. You can even do yoga or breathe. Just breathing in. But we've got to get our oxygen in every single day. So I call it the FUN approach to life. So F is your fitness made fun. You got to do things that you enjoy. So it's very important to pump up your body. So I created this program with this circle. I make these by hand. And these 10 minutes is 1 mile. You burn the same amount of calories with these. And I do this with 400 kids at a time. So we pull up to the school. We spread them across the playground. I have a stage and a partner. We have our sound system. The kids come out, and each one of them sit in their own hula hoop. Well, if I would show up to the school and say, okay, we're going to dance, half of them would be like, especially the boys, they'd be like, no, I'm not doing that. I work with elementary kids especially. So each kid sits in their own hula hoop, and the circle is such a powerful symbol on our earth. It makes them feel safe. And I talk to them about nutrition and exercise, and then I get them up, and on the count of 3, we crescendo the music, and we launch. And these kids go on the most amazing fitness journey. But you know what's really cool is the teachers and the principals and the custodian. We have the lunch ladies in the lunchroom. They're all like getting their hoop on. Everybody wants to hoop it up. So 10 minutes is 1 mile. So the second part of the FUN approach in our lives is the U, which I say it's either unconditional love and uplifting. So every day in our life, even if you go exercise and your body's full of oxygen and you're in the greatest mood, if you have people in your life that are negative and they're pulling you down, then it's really hard to sustain that. So there's 4 ways that people in our lives try to steal our positive energy. The first one is the one with the problems, the poor me drama. Raise your hand if you know people in your life that are the poor me. So those are the people that right when you're about to leave they call. And I think it was Dr. B or somebody said it earlier. They don't want the solution. They want to just repeat the same problem over and over. You just worked out. You're feeling great. You're way up here. You're ready to create and be awesome. And then all of a sudden it's just like, and you're back underneath this energy. The second way people steal each other's energy, those are the people that are called aloof. They're the people that they're not consistent with you. One day you see them, you're like, hey girl, what's up, Robin? She's all, hey. The next day you see that person and maybe at work, you're like, hey, and they go, you're like, did I say something bad about that person? Why is she doing that? So you go back in for a little bit more to go like, hey, what's going on? Nothing. So it's that inconsistent human being. And then there's two other ways. The other one is the intimidator. It's the person that's like my dad used to intimidate the energy out of all of us. And then you have the person that's the interrogator. They're the person that they'll ask you a question, and when you tell them the answer, it's always wrong. Okay? So the uplifting spiritual part, it's up to us to make sure that we keep our spirits uplifted. And that's what all these ladies said together. Our thoughts create our reality. It's whatever we believe it is to be. You guys up with that? Yes. So the uplifting thing is like the most important part of our day. I say, so many friends are like, oh, I have to do this and I have to do that. It's an opportunity with gratitude you get to. So my nephew and I write spoken word. One of them says, a human being, not a human doing, with all you gots to gets and have to do's can make you blue. Put another slide in your Viewmaster faster. I've never seen a statue of a critic. Have you? How many of you remember playing with the Viewmasters? We need some new slides. We need some new slides in our Viewmaster for ourselves personally, for our people around us. We each have an orbit around us of energy. This hoop goes around me, but each soul here, we are these magnetic, magnificent souls of light, and we vibrate all around. You know what else is super cool? We're made of water. We're 80% water. How cool is that? I tell the kids, you know when you're thirsty, your body's saying from the inside, yo, I need a shower in here. So I have all the kids drinking their water, saying H2O is the way to go, Miss Kelly. So we got to make sure that we drink our water, we eat healthy, and we're around positive people. Because we are co-creating with God or Source, whatever you believe it is. We're co-creating everything that's happening in our lives. So I broke the code on this. So if our thoughts are creating our reality, so when we're thinking things and when they come true, there's a gap between when you think something and when it comes true. So present moment is present. Isn't that cool? That's going to be in my book. Robbie, I'm writing a book because you inspired me. And also, I want to talk about showing up. Robbie, out there, you were just talking about how she just does things random. So we're in Lake Arrowhead hanging out, and she buys this cool wolf three-dimensional like picture for her daughter. And I was like, Robbie, that's so cool. Because I just found out I'm part Native American. I'm from the Takapaw Eagle tribe out of Lake Charles, Louisiana. Right? So I was like, that's cool. She goes, I don't know if my daughter's going to like it or not. So all of a sudden, I checked the mail, and there's a gift. It's from Robbie. And what is it? It's this wolf. And I'm thinking, whoa, like she gave it to me. That's so cool. But where am I going to put it? I'm going to put it on my altar where all my stuff is. And then all of a sudden, my friend Lauren calls me and she's like, she's an art therapist. She's like, we need to go to Standing Rock. There's some people there. Like you said, you got to put on your big girl panties and show up to things. I'm like, well, I'm part Native American. I have only a little bit of time off, but we're going to go. So the next thing I know, we're booking our airline tickets. We show up in North Dakota. It's freezing. We show up on the day where all this crazy, if you don't know, who knows what Standing Rock is? Okay, well, they're building this pipeline through this Native Americans' beautiful burial site. So we show up at Standing Rock, and we get there, and they brief us, and they tell us, if you're going to stand with the Native American people, we honor the earth, we honor the land. And it's so cool because they have this thing called the medicine wheel in Native American. And what's so cool is they call it the hoop of life. And I was like, dude, like there's so many synchronistic things, like it's just crazy. And so in their hoop of life, all plants, animals, everything that exists on the earth is included in this circle. And I'm like, I make circles for a living. Do you know how many of these I've made in my lifetime in 10 years? Like they're all over the world. And we donated like 50 to these kids. So we first show up and they brief us and they say, we are, if you want to stand with us, we're in prayer. We're in prayer the entire time, standing on this earth, protecting the water. We're called water protectors. We're not protesters. And we stand in prayer. There's no negativity. There's no cussing. There's no yelling. And we're standing there with these armed men, like hundreds of them, with these big, like, these are like Iraq looking like crazy. We're like, okay, we're in prayer. So I'm like praying, and then I open one eye just to think like, oh my God, like, okay, just stay cool. But anyway, while we were there, we donated 50 hoops to these little Native American kids that lived there in these teepees. How long they had been there? Like 6 months. And we got a car full of teddy bears and stuffed animals. And we were known when we would drive in, these kids would see us coming and they would just chase the car. And we're handing out to all these little kids. It was the most amazing thing. Anyway, long story short, I meet the chief there, and guess what his name is? This gets better. Gray Wolf. I'm like, Robbie Water, give me this wolf. And then it kept going. I go home to Louisiana, and I meet this chief from this tribe, the Kashada tribe. And he's this totally cool man. He goes, I heard you were at Standing Rock, and I'm so honored that you're part of, the tribe, and we want to honor you. And he goes, my name is Chief Gray Wolf. So that's you, Robbie. That's how Robbie rolls. She always lines this stuff up. So anyway, a couple more things. I use the hoop also with the kids. I hold it up in the air one part of the show, and I say, there's 7.5 billion human beings on this planet, kids. And you want to hear something cool? We're all one big human tribe. We're all included in the circle. It doesn't matter what country you're from, what color your hair, your eyes, your skin. And I've been programming this in these kids for 10 years. I got 2 million of them that I personally worked with. And I utilize the anti-bullying message. I say, kids, have you, because I can't say karma and things like that in the schools. I'm on like a fine line. So I just say, hey kids, you want to hear something cool about the circle too? It's like the circle of life, the seasons, the wheels on the car. Everything comes around. Have you ever heard a grown-up kid say, what comes around goes around? And they're all like, yeah. Say, well, I do this move called what comes around goes around. I go, if you're nice, people are going to be nice to you. But if you're going around bullying, so I want to show you how this cool move I made up. You all ready? And then we're going to get up and dance, because we can't hoop. Are you guys ready to move your bodies a little bit? So I'm going to show you this, and then I want to introduce one more person that's very important here, and then I want to get your booties up, and we're going to get ready for the rest of our weekend. So this is my call, What Comes Around Goes Around. Check it out. You guys see what I'm doing? Yeah. One little first grader said, the ultimate compliment of my life when I did that, he goes, you're a Jedi. Awesome. So speaking of Jedis, I want to introduce a very awesome young lady. So it's only appropriate since I work with kids. Robbie called me one day and she's like, hey, there's this little girl that's doing some amazing work on the planet. And something, of course, there's Robbie again. She's like, you guys need to know each other. So she connected us. So I brought her on board with a couple of events I was doing. Anyway, I want you guys, she's going to tell you a little bit of what she's doing, and then we're going to jam out. This is Annika, everybody. Welcome to the stage.
Hi, everyone. I wasn't planning on speaking today, but Kelly asked me to, so I couldn't miss out on the opportunity. Anyways, my name is Annika, and I'm 13 years old. I own a nonprofit called Annika's Pink Closet that I started after my sister's murder due to domestic violence, where our mission is to inspire girls to dream big, be self-confident, and realize that we rise by lifting others through fun workshops, activities, programs, and community service. So I hope you all enjoy your day here, and I do this work because little girls with dreams become women with vision. So I'm honored to be a part of this event, so back to Kelly. Thank you.
Awesome. This is our future right here. All right, since we can't hula hoop, I do have some for sale over here. at the end, but whoever, like you wanna, yeah, at the end I'm gonna show you how to hoop it up, girl. But until then, I want you to stand up, push your chairs in, just clear a little space, and I just want us to move our bodies a little bit. Shake our booties. Come on, everybody stand up. Are you gonna play? All right. Yes. We'll start from the top and turn it up. All right, here we go, everybody. I want you to just march in place and clap like this.
I got this feeling inside my bones.
Get your hands up, get your hands up.
It's electric, baby, when I turn it on.
Nappy ladies in the house, let me hear you say ho. Say ho. Everybody scream.
Sunshine in my pocket.
Now march in place, march in place. One more, bring it up like this.
I can't take my eyes off it.
Just tap your foot. March your back. Now let's have these arms like this, you go. Let's shake it. Ready, out. Put your head. Put your body. Shake it up. Now a little bit faster like this. Oh yeah, come on. One more time, come on. Now slide your hands. Now move forward, have it forward. Now march it back at the arm. Shake it up. Move it up, move it up.
Ooh, something magical.
Take it back.
It's in the air, it's in my blood. It's
Now I want you to slide this way, just slide.
don't need no reason.
Now pump it 2 times.
Be control.
Pump it, come on, Stone.
So high, no ceiling when I'm in my
Now we're gonna do the rock for the older neck.
sunshine in my pocket.
Just loosen your hips, come on, let's rock.
In my feet, feel that hot blood in my body.
Now we're gonna do the same thing front and back like this.
Can't take my eyes off it, moving so phenomenally. My heart will baby rock it. So
All right, ready from the top, take it up forward, come on.
lights will never
Put some on it.
close.
Arms,
When I hide, when I
shake it up.
close.
You go, girl, I got you.
Move where you already know.
Nice sound, come on, Dr. B, let me see it. Let me see it slide.
Nothing see but you dance, dance, dance. Feel like good creeping up
Come on,
on me,
girl.
so just dance.
Now rock it side to side.
All those things I shouldn't do, but you dance,
Front
dance.
back, front back.
Ain't nobody leaving, so keep
And a
dancing.
single shoulder. A double elbow.
So just dance, dance, dance.
See?
So just dance, dance, dance.
Low.
Just dance, dance, dance.
Now march it back. What we doing in here? Let me hear you say. All right, here we go. We're gonna put all that together. Make it sexy. It's Saturday night. Let's do this. Ready? From the top, let's go.
Can't stop the
4, 3, 2, march it back. Shake it up. One more time. Come on.
things I shouldn't do, but you dance.
Take it back.
Ain't nobody leaving, so keep dancing.
Slide, slide. Now rock it side to side. Front back, front back. Now Ursula. Single shoulders. Take it low. That's up. Give us a round of applause. Thank you for having me. Hoop it up. Peace out.